Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Spincast. Today, we are joined by Alex Barnett. He is the director of the college esports program, particularly with marketing and partnerships at Champlain College. He's going to be joining us today to talk about collegiate esports and his program in particular. So, without further ado, Alex, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, how your passion in esports was sparked as far back as you want, and how that led to where you currently are at Champlain.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I got started. I'm a rising third year at Champlain College, and I am in the game development program, specifically game production management. And coming into college 2 years ago, I really didn't know anything about esports. I just saw it as something that I was like, oh, cool, I want to get involved on campus, and this is a way for me to do so while being involved with games. So it sounded really awesome. So I got started, and for me, my work for the college esports really started around October of my first year when I sort of started becoming involved with the planning of our largest event on campus, our Extra Life event, where we raise money for charity. Um, and so once I started grabbing partnerships for that event, I became engaged with the overall partnerships for our entire organization.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I grew to be someone that really took over somewhat of the marketing aspect and as well as the partnership aspects of Champlain College Esports. So it really started for me when I worked to get food at an event, and from there I decided to go larger with partnerships and was like, we
Mm-hmm.
really need to create these partnerships for our overall organization rather than just one event.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Those partnerships are so crucial right now, especially as collegiate esports and esports in general is expanding so fast. Those partnerships give so much more stability and support that go a long way in the long-term development of any program related to esports, whether it's a business, a college, a high school, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I guess my first question for that, going off that, is tell us a little bit more about Champlain in particular. So what does your program look like? Are you varsity athletics or university supported, or is it student led, a club? Tell us something about that, and then what games you guys have teams for, and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, so in terms of our esports program at our college, it is student run right now. It is under the Student Government Association as a student run club. We are currently exploring opportunities to make it a larger varsity program, but as of right now, it is a student led club under Student Government Association. We
Hmm.
currently have 7 teams with plans to add more. So we have League of Legends, Overwatch, Dota 2, CSGO, Rainbow Six Siege, and Smash Ultimate and Smash Melee. I know we have already added a summer team for Valorant, and I believe that's going to expand to become a larger team in the fall.
Hmm.
So we're very much looking forward to that because that game exploded very quickly.
For
Um,
sure.
and so that's what we're working with right now. Our program also involves people on the management side as well, which is what I do. Um, for me, I think it's so cool because even if you're not good at games, like for myself, I'm not good at any of the games that we play. Um, but I really enjoy the marketing aspects and the management aspects, and I think that's something that we're trying to emphasize in our program is even outside of the game aspect, you can still learn so much about your field and what you're interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. Could not agree more with looking at esports outside of just gaming, right? Because I always say, like, gaming itself, playing the game or coaching the game really is probably only about a quarter of what esports is, right? You have the marketing, the management skills, the game development itself, and then so many more opportunities. Like I always challenge people, tell me a job title anywhere in the world, and I probably can tag esports to the end of it, 90% sure. Um, so absolutely love to see that. So I do want to go a little bit more into that, inclusive esports where we look at the managerial and the job. So take us through your experience with the Extra Life charity events because those sound incredibly interesting. So talk about like your experiences in developing those kind of events and just anything in general there that you want to highlight.
Yeah, so I honestly really love when we get to do the Extra Life charity events. Those are my favorite. That's my favorite event every year,
Hmm.
because it we donate to the UVM Children's Hospital, and I think that's a great cause. And it's definitely something that I love being a part of. We had been part of the Extra Life events every single year for I think like maybe the 4 years before I got there.
Hmm.
So it was really cool to come into that. I think we really saw it expand my year. It was just a really large event, at least from my perspective. It was such a large event. It was a really exciting event to be a part of. And for me, my biggest thing was finding a way to bring in local businesses and some larger businesses that maybe have branches in our area to help out with that event, because I think that it is something that can involve a larger community. So when I came in, I focused mainly on getting food and drinks my first year, and we were able to get beverages provided by Pepsi. We were able to get 20 large pizzas from our pizza place near us. We
Hmm.
got wings. And then this year, it really exploded even more when we were able to get different prizes like from Target, Holiday Inn. We're from Vermont, so when considering dessert options, there's no more appropriate dessert than Ben and Jerry's ice cream, as
For
it's from
sure.
Vermont.
Hmm.
So they actually donated like 7.5 gallons of ice cream. Um,
Yeah.
so that was really exciting. But for me, that event just really brings together the whole community. Yeah, for me, that event just really brings together the whole community. Um,
Yeah.
and allows us to be a part of something that is larger than just Champlain College Esports and Champlain.
Hmm.
Uh, the past couple years, we've raised over $1,500 each year, which has been really exciting for us,
Hmm.
to be able to see that kind of growth and that kind of commitment towards the community and the local children's hospital.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic causes there. Anytime that we can help charities through esports, either that's in the gaming side or the event side or anything to do with it, it's absolutely beautiful to see those come to fruition. So my next question for you, going still sticking with the event kind of perspective, is some of those partnerships that you have had, right, with the food and drink. Um, what's next? So what's the future look like? What partnerships do you think will really help bolster these events to the next level? Like, what are you actively pursuing or have an interest in pursuing to bring your event to the next level?
Yeah, so for me this year, I mean, my first year, it was really focused on that food and drink, because those were just the necessary things that we needed at that time.
Hmm.
Um, and then this past year, I was able to focus more on some sort of some prizing donors, because I already had those contacts in the food and drink industry. So I was able to really quickly just reach out to them and focus on something else, that was specifically the prizing. For me
Hmm.
this year, it's really exciting because our organization was actually just able to secure two new partnerships, one with All-Mid Esports Events, which is a company out in the Midwest, and another company, Cougar Gaming. And I think that those two partnerships will be really great for events such as Extra Life, because All-Mid is going to help us with event support, whether that be just equipment for events, to make it so that we have more access to computers at those
Hmm.
events, or banners or things that just make it a better atmosphere for the event. And then for Cougar Gaming, it's another thing of some prizing for the event that gets people really excited to donate for those raffle prizes, whether it is a headset or a mouse or a keyboard or something like that. I think it just adds that excitement and that push to donate to a good cause.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely love to see it. And then I know my past experiences, once you throw in prizes, people just go bananas for them. Like, woo, I get a new mouse, new keyboard. Um, so that's awesome to see. Kind of going back a little bit to the more focused collegiate side of Champlain. You mentioned a lot of this, the management support that's needed to run these esports clubs, and also the job opportunities that can come out of it, right? I'm sure all the experience you're garnering right now is going to look very, very good to future employers once you graduate. So speak a little bit to the importance of that, having that support staff and having that management team, having that production team that can support the gaming itself, so you're looking at esports as a whole rather than just playing a game.
Yeah, I mean, For us, it's so vital. The team that I work with at Champlain College Esports is a fantastic team, and it's made up of so many different parts where everyone has their different expertise. So for myself, I'm a business major, so I focus a lot on the marketing and the partnership side of it because that's something that I'm passionate about and I'm able to get that experience. But we also have people that focus specifically on the event side of things. We have people that are just on the competitive side of things. We have the different asset creation team. I mean, even under the marketing department that I head up, it really is such a important team effort because we have someone that's specifically focusing on social media engagement. We have someone, or we have multiple people that focus on video editing and production. We have multiple people that focus on asset creation in terms of like graphic design and the different stream assets. So it really is just such a team effort. Um, Without any one of those parts, it would just be so much harder to get anything done. I mean, and the team that I work with is incredible. We recently went through a rebrand of our logo and our different assets and everything, and our two asset creators worked incredibly hard on just that entire thing. And it was a team effort because then we went with the marketing department and we're like, okay, how are we going to push this out? And then when we get back to campus next year, it's okay, how are we going to push this logo out at events? Whether it's going to be, okay, we're going to take some of our budget, we're going to buy 300 stickers and we're just going to give everyone a sticker
Hmm.
so that we see our logo everywhere on campus. So it really is just such a large team effort. And honestly, the team that I have at Champlain College Esports is fantastic to work with.
Oh, absolutely love to hear it. That team is so important. That's a common theme that I'm finding, and especially in the collegiate spin cast, is that without those teams, then you're going to have a smaller program that really is just focused on playing. And esports is so much more than that, right? And I don't want to downgrade the gaming itself, right? Obviously, that's where it's born, and that's where all of our passions start. But if you're not good at gaming, that doesn't mean you can't do esports, right? Like you said yourself, you're not really good at any of the games that you play in that esports sense, and like I'm not either, right? But here we both are talking about esports, which is just absolutely fantastic as we expand the industry that we love so much. So my next question would be looking towards the future, especially with collegiate esports and the experience you've had in doing some of these events and running the club and so far. Where do you hope to see, for one, your club head to, right? What kind of support do you want to see from universities at varsity athletics or something along those lines? And then also from the collegiate esports scene as a whole, where else do you hope to see either holes be filled in or that scene in general grow towards, whether it's something akin to the NCAA or maybe a favorite organization that you guys play for or anything like that. So what does that future look like for the best for everybody?
Yeah, so in terms of our specific organization, I actually just had a meeting with the provost of our college yesterday. And it was a really productive meeting because it was talking about how we can move forward, keeping a student-run organization, but integrating it more as part of the university life at our college, which was something that was a really great conversation to have. So for us moving forward, we're hoping to move into a larger space on campus where we can continue to grow our program, whether that's getting more PCs, more practice spaces, more spaces for VOD reviews. I mean, while there is such the importance of the management side, it is important to have the best space possible for your teams, and that's something that we're trying to build right now. Um, we're also potentially looking into becoming a varsity program. Right now, our school actually doesn't have any divisional sports, and so this would be something that is very new for our college.
Hmm.
But we're working with upper administration to be able to see if we can make that a possibility for our collegiate athletes on our esports teams, which is really exciting. And
Yeah,
then on top of that, we are looking into just more possible ways to integrate the esports experience into our college, whether that's getting speakers to come in and talk to people that are interested in esports or anything like that. We're just really looking forward to integrating esports into our campus life, which is, I
exactly.
think, it's an exciting thing for me to be a part of, and I'm really happy that I'm here to be a part of that.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds so incredible, and I can't wait personally to see that come to fruition. Because like we've been really like hitting on time and time again that esports is all inclusive, right? You don't have to be the best gamer in the world to be in esports, right? You can work in esports. You can just be a gamer that likes to go watch, right? Cheer on your teams. I was compared to like college game day in football, right? none of those people in the crowd know really anything about football besides the rule. Like they know enough to watch it, right, and
Yeah.
really cheer for it. But look how invested they are. So there's so many ways, like you were saying, to get student life involved. Find a place for students that might not know about that they can go out and game on campus with their friends or make new friends doing it. So absolutely love to see it. So
Yeah.
before we run out of time, my last question would be, what advice do you have for anybody that's involved in gaming or esports, especially for the younger students like high school and middle school? You know, the ones that have this passion and like, hey, I really like to game. Hey, I really like watching the pros play on Twitch. What advice would you have for them to take that next step, whether they're good enough to go all the way to that professional level and play, or if they want to seek a very relevant job in the industry?
Yeah, so for me, I think my biggest advice would be to look to get involved on your campus with your collegiate esports organization. It can start off as simple as just attending events, and someone in management will notice if you are at every single event that they put on or at a lot of the events. And then from there, talk to someone in management if you have goals that kind of line up more on the management side or the marketing side or something like that that maybe don't align with the team side and you don't see a way in, there probably is one that's just not fully set in stone yet. So talk to someone in management and tell them what you're interested in. And for me, at least, if I was approached with someone who is interested in the management or marketing side or something like that, I would be more than happy to point them in the right direction and hopefully get them involved in our organization because I really think that again, the biggest thing to me is the team that puts on these events, that puts on everything that our organization does. And to add someone to that team is just, it's so valuable for our organization. So I think my biggest thing would just be to reach out and find a way to get involved if you're interested. Don't be afraid to do so.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll speak to that. The idea that people in esports, we love to talk, right? Especially the ones that you see on podcasts, right? Or you see active on social media. Reach out to us and we're going to sit down and have a conversation when we do find some time for sure. One last question I do have for you, and then we'll wrap up. What's the future look like for you, right? You're heavily involved in that job. Like the next step would obviously be a job or maybe graduate school. But what does that next step look like? What do you hope to achieve after you graduate college with this great bundle of experience that you've developed so far?
Yeah, so for me recently, actually, with the pandemic as well, I became involved with a new organization called Intercollegiate Game Network, which right now has over 2,300 students in their Discord server from across over 200 schools in the US and Canada. And it also has industry professionals in it as well. Um, so in terms of like the growth of that, I would love to continue to see that organization grow as I continue to work with them because I think that right now one of the things that's lacking is that connection between the esports industry and collegiate esports.
Hmm.
I think as it grows on universities, I think we'll see more of a connection, but I'd love to be a part of helping that connection right now. Um, and then for me, at least, in terms of where I see myself after college, I hope to get a job somewhere in the game industry. I mean, initially coming in, I came in as I'm currently a game production management
Hmm.
student, and so I'm studying to be a producer. And that was always my goal is to become a game producer. Um, and then after working in esports, I was like, oh, this is a very viable career that I think that I want to have the option of pursuing. So I think for me right now, it's still game production, number one, but I'm looking into ways to become involved with different esports organizations, whether it's through partnerships or marketing or something business related as well.
Awesome. Incredible to see. I'm excited for you, definitely. I love seeing those stories come true where someone starts with the gaming passion and ends up with a successful career because that's incredible to see in any field, let alone gaming and esports. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. So, real quick, Alex, tell us where we can find you, where we can find Champlain College if we want to reach out or learn some more.
Yeah, so if you want to be get more involved with Champlain College Esports or learn more about Champlain College Esports, you can go to our Discord. Our Discord is discord.gg/cc esports. So that's how you can reach us on Discord, and I'll be the one at the top with Alex and ABB118 with a picture of the Pokemon Spheal. So that's me on Discord. My Discord, if you want to just reach out to me directly, is ABB18 and then the pound sign 4102. So either one of those ways, feel free to reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to talk about the college itself, or Champlain College Esports, or really anything.
Awesome. Incredible to hear. Everyone out there, definitely reach out. I know Alex will happily sit down and talk with anybody that takes the time to give him that platform to speak. So, everyone out there in the current pandemic, make sure you're staying healthy and staying happy. Take care of your loved ones and ultimately stay plugged in.